Hello everyone and welcome to the Clueless Internet podcast. I am your host Alex and I am joined once again by my wonderful co-host Howard.
Hello, I'm back.
We can actually see each other's faces this time. It's really quite off-putting.
I wanted to go back to the old way.
Yeah, I want to go back to Discord, please. Thank you, bye. We're back with another week of facts, fakes, and fuck-ups for you to enjoy and for us to enjoy. It's been quite a little adventure going back and researching things instead of just going, oh, that looks interesting, I'll make a note of it and probably talk about it. I hope I know things about it, because this time I mostly know things about the things that I've thinged. So just a little update. I've been working on adding the previous podcasts to YouTube. I've been working on those. They take the absolute piss to render, so they're currently not all on there. I think I'm up to currently... Probably by the time this audio goes out, it will probably be episode 12. So you can go back and watch the episode 10 special with all of its visual glory. We'll leave a link to that in the description if you would like to check that out. But without further ado, Howard, let's jump in to my first section, Today I Learned.
Oh, here it comes. Oh,
shut up!
Sit down and shut up.
Today, I learned.
Shut up.
Shut up, I learned.
Sit down, be quiet. Shut up.
Welcome to our first section, Today I Learned, where we probably are going to learn a few things, I would hope. I've gathered 4 facts for you today, Howard. And the first one is, today I learned about the under-the-seat infiltration.
the under the sea.
Under the seat, under the seat, super discreet,
Where I hide my meat.
under the seat. For this one, actually, we're going to go all the way back to the year 1204 AD, to the Chateau Gaillard.
What'd you call me?
Chateau Gaillard. It's Gaillard. I think it's Chateau Gaillard. It's spelled ChatEaU GAILLARD.
The Chateau Gaillard.
The Chateau Gaillard.
Stop calling me that.
Say it again, Dexter. Chateau Gaillard. Beautiful. So this is a medieval castle that was built by Richard the Lionhearted, who was the King of England between 1189 and 1199. He didn't have a terribly good run.
Or a lion's heart.
Or he ate a lion's heart and died. Google that, because I'm not being held accountable. So he built it between the years 1196 and 1198. So he had a 2-year turnover, which, is pretty good.
Pretty good for a castle.
I mean, it's pretty sick for a castle. I mean, when you think about it, you have buildings that are in construction for yonks, like that Spanish one that's really took the piss, which I don't know the name of off the top of my head.
That lady who never finished building a house in America, that one that's just like corridors going to nowhere and shit. Cause
she just give up halfway.
The house was never finished. She built this house just with like corridors everywhere to confuse, because I think it was the heiress or the wife of the person. Was it Smith and Wesson? It was one of the large pistols, one of the ones that essentially killed lots and lots of people in the West, and she went a bit mad in her old age and thought that the spirits of the people who had been killed by the guns created by her family would haunt her forever. So she created a house that would never be finished being built, which would confuse the spirits. She would have hallways going to nowhere, stairways that looked like they were full stairways, but then they just got smaller.
So it'd just be really annoying if she invited you over for a dinner party, basically.
You'd never get out of... You'd never find your room.
See, I thought she would have just done it just because, she knows pistols so well. If you have so many different corridors and different turns, you could dodge bullets that way, essentially. But no, just ghosts. It makes sense.
Ghosts. That explains everything.
So this was during the Crusades campaign. And if you don't know what the Crusades are, they were the Holy Wars, mainly initiated by the Latin Church for control over Holy Land from Islamic rule. So, murder and things. all the good shit that Christianity tells you.
All the good things that a crusade is. Oh, no.
Because, the Crusades, it was just minus the murder, and everyone just learned things. That's not how it happened. It was built in sort of like a guitar pick shape. So if you want to imagine like a guitar pick shape, that's what the outer walls sort of look like. And if you can't imagine a guitar pick, it looks...
Bit like an egg?
Yeah, a bit like a really aggressive egg. So this was built on the bank of Seine River in France. So we're in France, if you couldn't tell by the name of the place. So this castle was well built and highly fortified. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Well built, and highly fortified.
It fell over.
I wish that was what it was. So it had, just to give you sort of an example, it had 3 circles of defense. It had 1 wooden and 2 made out of stone. So you had 1 wooden wall, 2 made out of stone.
Not paranoid at all.
No, it's a castle after all. With also having the added benefit of having one side, so it was on the Seine River, so you had water one side and land the other. You basically could see anyone coming. It was on top of a hill as well. All the good points of having a castle.
Did it have a moat?
Yes,
Okay,
it did, and we shall get to that.
I was going to say, what kind of a half-assed fucking house are you trying to pass off as a castle to me?
Now, however impressive this castle sounds, it was actually being invaded. And can you guess who by? We're in France, and it's during the Crusades period-ish. Oh, it may be after the Crusades, actually, 1203.
Yeah.
But it's, it's probably after the Crusades. Don't quote me on that. Can you guess who is invading this French castle?
The Mongols?
The French! Because, for some reason, they want their land back.
No. it's mine. No.
So it all started. So I said that it started in 1204. It actually all started in August 1203, when King Philippe and his army surrounded the castle and dug trenches for protection. Then they continued digging the trenches
for prosperity,
for entertainment. Until they were under the first wall. So wooden wall, down, it's already gone. Well, it's not gone. But then again, I suppose if you're digging trenches around it, it probably would have just sunken in.
Eventually.
And, design flaw if I've ever seen it. The second wall was much more difficult to breach. All hope was lost. Philippe had lost all hope. He was about to send his men home. He was crying. He was in a ball of tears.
Of course he was.
On the floor. This is 100% historically accurate.
I wanted to get in the castle.
Why don't you let me in?
I didn't even want to get in
Where's
this
the
castle.
door? Until they found a fatal flaw in its design. Can you guess? Do you want to have a guess what the fatal flaw is in this time period?
This door's unlocked.
No, there was a big, massive fuck-off hole in the wall. And they basically found an unguarded toilet tube.
That's what weird, I suppose.
Now, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, this was probably into, like, a separate part of the castle, not really a big deal.
No, it went straight into the shitters.
Well, no, it actually led straight into the chapel within the second wall. So as people were trying to pray, they were getting slayed. I'm assuming they evacuated the whole place.
Their bowels.
You know what I mean? They probably didn't just go, yeah, you go ahead. There's no risk of anything popping out of the toilet there. So the army piled in, I would say one by one.
Nice choice of words there.
And they popped out inside the chapel, conquering the second perimeter. So 2 walls down. So you've got your first wall that was
your
just
perimeter in a minute.
I'll get the police involved. Now, all that was left is to siege the final wall. This was one that had a moat and a rock bridge that led into the inner castle. So
a bridge made of rocks, not like a bridge with just guitarists and the hair metal just going.
You're not getting past here, bro.
This music is too rad.
I'm just imagining the SpongeBob at the end of the SpongeBob movie when he does his guitar solo, and that's their main defense, because it's impenetrable. No, in my mind, I'm thinking that it's just because Unfortunately, I couldn't go and see accurate pictures of the time because cameras were slightly not
It's all gone.
existent then. And I don't think anyone at the time was drawing, drawing this.
Nobody had hands. This was beforehand.
This was beforehand, and everyone just dug with their mouth. So by the time the French got into the castle, they were really full. And
tired.
Yeah, and just really...
Going around on my belly all day and shit.
Another wall. The last one was delicious. And so... Blah, 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 the motor, blah, blah. So they went to the inner castle. So they used the rock bridge as cover. Smart. As they started to use the old digging tactic. They dug underneath
Not the new
the
one.
final wall.
No, the old digging tactic.
No, the old digging tactic. So you use an old shovel.
Use your mouth.
Yeah, sorry, you use your mouth. And if you're one of those fancy soldiers, you start using your fingertips. Oh, wait, sorry, they don't have fingertips. The nub. So they dug underneath the final wall right into 20 knights and 120 men-at-arms inside. And a huge battle No, they surrendered. And King Philip won the day. Unfortunately, the castle isn't really a castle anymore. So if you really want to see it in all of its glory, you'll have to invent a time machine or dream it.
And first you'll need to invent time travel. Then the machine that can... Yeah.
So pretty simple. If you do it, please write in to podcast@cluelessinternet.
I mean, anyone can make it something. It could say it's a time machine, but you got to invent time travel before.
You just got to be really dedicated.
I mean, technically, this is a time machine. I just haven't invented time travel.
Stop touching my leg. But you can actually go and see the ruins if you would so like to. You can go and see the ruins of Chateau Galard if you'd like to on the Seine River. Or just on the Seine River.
Yes.
It might be harder to spot nowadays, but it is there.
It's probably more interesting than the ruins of my life well.
Than this podcast. The ruins of this podcast. If you're listening to this podcast while walking around the ruins of Chateau Galard, please don't speak to us. So my next one is, today I learned about the world record turned disaster. So not everyone ever in existence, like the people who do ridiculous shit, like how many chilies can I shove into my eyeballs in 30 seconds?
It's 3.
I did it last week. This is an actual, like, a pretty impressive world record that would have been impressive had not the disaster part come into it, which is why we're talking about it. Because
You mean the good part?
Because then it would have been lame and I wouldn't have talked about it. So for this one, we do jump forward slightly to 1978, just slightly, to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I was going to say Hannesburg, but that's a completely different place. Where Harrisburg Middle School tried to set the record for... Would you like to have... I'm making this very interactive
Put
for
in
everyone.
chilies in their eyes.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
They wanted to do it for a tug of war. So, the most impressivist tug of war that has ever impressed everyone. So,
How long was the rope?
Well, let's run through what happened. They had 2,200 students and teachers grab this 2,000 foot long, which is 0.6 kilometers, so a pretty big one, and 1.5 inch thick nylon and propylene rope. I just put my fingers up for anyone who doesn't watch the video of this podcast,
Which is exclusive in my brain.
because we totally film it and it's exclusive to my eyeballs only. Subscribe now. And
To my eyeballs.
to my eyeballs, which are currently covered in chili. Ah! And as the yellow flag, which signifies the starting of this whole event, as it drops, they started to pull. This went on for a good 3 minutes.
3 years.
They're still there to this day. If you'd like to go and see the ruins of this one.
Well, it's not really a war if it doesn't last. It's more of a tug of
Bore.
agreement.
It's not really a tug of war if there's no guns.
Everyone get your guns out.
No, the rope! Then, bang! The rope that was supposed to be able to withstand 33 pounds...
Shot someone.
Stop grabbing me!
This is assault.
And there's somebody just with, no, this is salt.
Bang!
Bad. So yeah, it was supposed to be able to withstand 33,000 pounds of force, which is roughly about 14.9 tons worth of force, which if you calculate that into real people terms, that's actually 2,199 students and teachers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. That's
My math's off.
it's my brain has gone. No, it's less than what was there.
Yeah.
So they were just too swole for this rope. Then tragically, the recoiling cable cut off parts of 4 children's hands.
Oh.
Donald Burnett, 16, who lost the little finger on his right hand. Now keep in mind which ones are gone. John Price, 14, who lost the tip of the finger of the little finger, the tip of his little finger of his right hand. Dale Roberts, 13, who lost the tips of the 3rd and 4th fingers on his right hand, and Marie Lewis, 13, who lost part of her left thumb, representing the left side, because everyone else only had the right side. So thank you, Marie, for slightly evening
Which means
that out.
the right side won.
The right wing won. I mean,
We cut off the most... No, wait, the left side won. We cut off the most limbs, therefore we win. It is a tug of war.
get wrecked. Donald. So, in Donald fashion, Donald's mom wanted to sue, and I couldn't find out how that went.
I was going to say, who do you sue? The rope people? The school?
The rope.
The rope school?
We teach them how to make really weak ropes, but advertise them for more. This is in Pennsylvania. Blah.
No, that's Transylvania. Pennsylvania's like Philly and shit, isn't it?
Oh. Blah.
I mean, where, dude?
My American accents go just New York, Texas, and California, and everything else in between is just blah.
Dude.
I suck your blood. Even though that's not American, I'm going to carry on now. So 66 people were treated at local hospitals for burns and blisters. Not nice things, but better than not having
Not actual burns, just people just like
fingers.
dissing each other.
Just go, you suck to pulling that rope, dude. My hands. And 150 to 200 more were treated by school nurses for burns. It sounded like an explosion. It really popped, and everyone went flying, said a news photographer, Pete Reckus. There was some confusion at first until the kids realized what happened and looked at their burned hands. I saw one kid running with his hands held in the air saying, "My finger's gone! My finger's gone!" An accurate representation there of what the child sounded like. Turns out the rope loaned by the Pennsylvania Power and Light Co. had a breaking strength of only 13,000 pounds, which is 5 tons. So basically like less than half.
Oosh. Like, that should have stopped sooner.
Yeah, I mean... okay. Don Beetzel of the Pennsylvania Power and Light Co. Hello, Neelix.
I didn't realise you were the
I didn't know
president
you
of
were the
Power and Light Co.
representative.
Yes, sir. Hooray, it's my thank.
Only one lashing today. Thank you.
What did I do to deserve this?
You're ever so kind. May I lick your shoe? So Don Beetzel of the PP&L said it had been used in the past, which a good defense if I've ever read it.
Here's a used rope for your tug of war here.
I mean, just ignore the fact that it's only 3 centimeters wide, or like, you know, that it's already fallen apart, or that, you know, that it's got bite marks and rats inside, but
I mean, it's like 90%
it's pretty
rats.
good. I mean, the rats can hold a few tons on their own. But it wasn't old. obsolete. It wasn't an old obsolete rope. We used it before and intended to use it more in the future. So they sued for damages. No, I'm joking. They didn't sue for damages. But
You broke our rope!
How dare you, small fingerless child? He ended by saying, we feel very bad, and something like this had to happen. Now, I did try and find out if any legal proceedings did come out of this, and you'll be surprised to hear, no, nothing.
Oh, so people
did.
just got on with their lives.
So it was sort of
I
just
got 4 fingers now.
Yep, better learn how to play the 3-finger guitar. So the students were excited all week in anticipation for this. We examined the rope and felt it was in fine condition. Until it killed people.
Well,
I mean, nearly killed people, I suppose. That could have killed someone.
it could have, if someone's face had been close enough to that.
Someone just really close to the rope. Wow, this is a really fine rope. Bang! So that will do it for that story. My next one is...
Stupid kids.
Stupid fingerless kids. Today I learned we actually follow up on stories. So this is us. We actually follow up on stories, Howard. We actually have gone back...
So,
do you want to...
What episode is this from, then?
So, this is from... I'll give you an idea. This is all the way back in episode 6. If you want to go back and listen to this. I don't even remember when we did 6 episodes.
We did a 6th episode?
I thought we just jumped to 19. Where we spoke about... So this might jog your memory. We spoke about the art dealer and author Forrest Fenn and his hidden $1 million treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember about this?
Shit, annoyingly, I think I've heard the follow-up.
Have you heard the follow-up to this already?
Yeah, I think, because something rung my bell. I was like, hang on a minute, I know half of this story. What's going on? It was on last podcast from the left, as usual.
Nice. Go and listen to those guys if you want to hear a better version. If you want to hear a better version of the story, turn off now. But no, so don't. So this was a story from episode 6. I can hear you stopping. So this is a story from episode 6, and the treasure, the $1 million treasure, included rare gold coins, gold nuggets, pre-Columbian animal figures, prehistoric mirrors or hammered gold, ancient Chinese faces carved from jade, and antique jewelry. So all pretty much worthless shit.
Well, no, wasn't it worth quite a lot, actually?
Well, $1 million.
Yeah.
Really ain't a PayPal credit card, is it?
I suppose over the years it probably went up and appreciated in value as well, so it's probably worth more than the $1 million.
Probably. It had been there for about 10 years. So, if you don't remember, I'll jog your memory. It was up in the Rocky Mountains where thousands of people went searching.
I mean, didn't people die looking for this?
Unfortunately, 5 people died searching for the treasure. We reported 4, but unfortunately now there have been 5. They include Randy Bilyeu, 54, who went missing in January 2016 and was found 6 months later. Eric Ashby, age 31, who was last seen in June 2016 when his raft overturned and his body went missing. Jeff Murphy, 53, who was found in June 2017 after falling 500 feet. And Pastor Paris Wallace, who for some reason I couldn't find his age, went missing in June 2017. His body was found 5 to 7 miles downstream from his car. And the latest of the fatalities was Michael Wayne Sexton, age 53, who was found in March, just gone.
To be honest, they're lucky to be found. The amount of people who go disappearing in national forests, that there's whole books and series on it at the moment where it's they're missing this many people. It's
lucky that they knew they were going for this as well, I suppose, because then they knew they were going to be up there. He was found in March, just gone, with a 65-year-old friend who luckily recovered after renting snowmobiles. Because this is a really long stretch of mountain, so it goes straight from the north, probably down to the south, I think. It cuts across quite a few states. Quite a few states of mind. But as I say, the reason that we're talking about it again is because someone has found the treasure 10 years after the announcement. Now, because the finder has remained anonymous and Fenn hasn't released details of the finding place of the treasure, people are calling him out. People are calling him out for creating this hoax, treasure hunt.
You can't blame the person for wanting to stay anonymous, though.
No, I can't. Like when I read it, I was like, I'm glad I don't know this person. I probably wouldn't have said their name anyway.
There's people who've been looking for this for those 10 years who are going to be like, well,
Mad
I
as
have murderous rage.
That's a $1 million murder I'm willing to commit.
Yeah.
I should just say, it was you, Howard, who found it, and now I'm going to murder you. Welcome to a fake podcast. We haven't been recording this whole time.
Except, never mind.
Oh, God damn it. Oh,
There's
no.
evidence.
And it was mainly, people thought that it was mainly to further his writing career and stuff like that, which, in all honesty, I find that kind of hard to
The
believe.
amount of money he has, he doesn't need to further anything.
He's really old
He doesn't
as well.
care. Yeah.
I don't think he's really looking to be an up-and-coming writer at this point. I think he's pretty well established.
He did it to like instill like a sense of like exploration
Wonder?
stuff, didn't he? Yeah.
Unfortunately, led to death.
But then often does if you're gonna go if like you were back in like the like early 1800s and you were going off to some remote island to try and find the gold of some
Cthulhu.
long dead king or something like that, then yeah, you'd probably lose a few people along the way.
Yeah. But as long as you got that treasure, am I right, boys?
I mean, boy.
But yeah, just one. You're the only one left. Oh shit!
It's suspicious you're the only one left. Kill him.
I guess we'll have to split it, or I'll split you. That could work. However, our man Fenn had none of it, and he released 3 photos to prove that the treasure was real. The first image is sort of like just inside inside the chest with all the gold coins and treasure and stuff like that, and like sitting on top, really weirdly, was just like an oddly placed twig. I don't know if it was just to prove that it was in that area,
A marker,
like, or something like that, and a really fucking rusty key. Now the thing is, the rusty key, I wonder if the key was hidden separately, like if somebody found the key,
maybe.
but never found the chest, so they had to like sort of.
But if you found the chest, you'd taken that home and then gone looking for the key.
Ah, no, you are right. Yeah. Oh, probably. Or you would just smash it open with a sledgehammer. How hard can a chest be? The second is Forrest himself getting all the contents out on a table. This looks a lot more impressive than the first image, because the first image is like as they found it, and it was 10-year-old gunk, whereas this is now like when he's cleaned it up, and it actually looks like monies.
Monies.
And the last photo is a Forrest with a gold and green bracelet on. If you want to see these like photos and check it, you can check out the links in the description. It'll all be there. And Forrest, the man himself, not the man who found it, hopefully, because I mean, he could have just gone, fucking hell, it's been 10 years, I might as well dig it back up, I've got a car payment to make.
5 people have died.
And that. So Forrest wrote in a blog post about the treasure, saying, "It was under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains, and had not moved from the spot where I'd hid it 10 years ago. I do not know the person who found it, but the poem in my book led him to the precise spot." And we did read the sort of, somebody in the comments wrote a good excerpt of just all of the poem sections that you need to know if you actually wanted to go and have a look for this treasure.
Yeah, or where it was.
So episode 6, if you want to listen to that. It's a bit pointless now, but, you know, if you want to go and sit where it was, I mean, it's a famous landmark now, probably. I'm here a year late. So the treasure chest was found by a man I did not know and had not communicated with since 2018. Now that might sound a bit suspicious, but we'll get to why it's not later. The finder wants me to remain silent, and I always said the finder gets to make those 2 calls, who and where. Being asked about how he felt about the treasure being found, he said, "I don't know. I feel halfway kind of glad."
Give me back my treasure.
He's just really scraggly. His shirt's got like patches in it and stuff. He's like, "Fuck!
I forgot where I left it. Give it back."
That was my retirement plan. He said, "I don't know. I feel halfway glad and halfway kind of sad because the chase is over. So I'm hiding $2 million in the Bermuda Triangle." No, he's not. "I congratulate the thousands of people who participated in the search and hope they will continue to be drawn by the promise of other discoveries. I mean, not to burst your bubble, Forrest.
If there's not $1 million out there, I ain't going looking for it.
I ain't going outside if there's not money there. What do you think I am?
Okay.
A loser. Okay. Oh God. Just to go off on a tangent about fucking cake. There's just. Have you seen this Instagram sort of phenomenon now where they're just making literally everything into cake? If I were to find this chest, if it was still there, I would assume it was cake. I would take a knife with me everywhere I go, and I would test everyone to make sure they're not cake. It's
the
a
man
fast track
decided
way to prison.
Remain anonymous because he's cake.
He was delicious. Obviously, others who have been searching for years and years and sinking their life savings into this treasure will be bummed. And those who left their jobs. A lot of people left their jobs to find this $1 million.
He did leave an anonymous message. No. What does it mean?
I was only searching for 3 weeks. You bitches. God damn, isn't it?
I fell over this box.
God damn it, hurt.
Oh, a key.
I guess he doesn't have to go to court anymore for the proceedings. I'm going to sue this mountain. Oh!
Well, that
straight
worked.
up. I should become a lawyer.
A mountain lawyer.
You're going down, scumbag. So they even started. So this is why him having communication with Forrest isn't so like a conspiracy. Is because
Well, I assume he had open communication for entrists who wanted to maybe.
Yeah, they had an annual festival called
there you go.
Fenbore, spelled FENNBOREE, where people come together with stories and meet Forrest and try to crack the code. Hopefully, I do hope that they keep up this tradition, as I imagine a lot of people have made friends this way, and it would be nice to see people come together.
Come on, Bezos. You've got plenty of...
Hide $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, oh God, imagine. I mean, 5 deaths for $1 million. If it was $1 billion, you'd probably have like more like 500,000.
Where did you hide it? In space.
I hid it in the Amazon warehouse. No one's allowed in.
No one can find anything.
I don't give my staff good pay. Just, I'm gonna edge that one in there. Even though I'm the fucking idiot who keeps buying from Amazon because it's so damn easy.
It is too easy. It's even easier than fucking going on eBay.
Oh no, fuck. So yeah, people are coming together and making all these stories. He didn't give out any information though, Forrest. He was
stum.
lock-lipped. He was better than 6ix9ine ever could be.
Fucking snitch.
And people even started to make YouTube communities around this, with one of the channels called A Gypsy's Kiss, The Treasure Hunt, run by Shelley Carney and Toby Eunice. They have an audience of over 6,000 subscribers. However, and so they were basically just they go over sort of the additional. I didn't realize I was going to railroad myself off of that train of thought so quickly. As I wrote this, fuck you, past me. No, these guys would just go over and just talk about any little scrap of information and any like news about the area or something like that. I assume
that kind of like their channel's just like, oh, what do we do?
Well, this is over now. Yeah, I suppose. I hope they carry on and maybe transform the channel into something else.
Well, the thing is, most people, as well as going there for the news and stuff, will probably go in there for their personalities. Probably got,
which
they'll probably
I hope
follow them wherever they go.
Is what people are doing for this show. Is our personalities and not the 100% accurate facts that I give you. Somebody just edits in like a whole compilation of me just fucking up words. It's just me going, Odontoma.
It's just episode 1 through played on solid. Well, this took 8 hours.
I'll take it. So, however, somebody who is happy about the treasure being found are the rescuers in the Rockies.
Yeah.
Who no longer have to worry about people going searching. And the loved ones of the men who lost their lives searching. Who had been begging Forrest to end the hunt, hopefully have now got some peace and closure.
Thing is, though, if you
You
went
never
out,
will.
if you went out going for it, though, you knew the risks. That was kind of the whole point.
You knew the risks, I suppose, but then
Because people, the thing is, whether there's treasure or not, people go up into mountainous areas and die all the fucking day. It's one of the most common ways to fucking die.
It's a big
Because
risk.
especially if you're there alone or with a small party, like there's massive amounts of possibilities for you to go missing, fall off a ledge, get pulled into a current. There's so many ways it can
attacked by a
happen.
bear.
The fact that only 5 people died is actually quite good. That those were 5 people specifically looking for that treasure. Because I can guarantee you, if you just look at the amount of deaths in that area of people who weren't looking for treasure, it's off the scale compared to over the 10 years.
And you've got to think these are the people whose bodies they found.
Yeah.
So, but good news for everyone. Forrest isn't planning on doing another one anytime soon.
Damn you, Forrest!
Until episode 29, where I go,
nemesis.
we're following up on the follow-up. When he's just, I'm really bored of watching poor people search for money, so I'm just going to put more there.
He sounds like he's getting on a bit. Maybe it's time for one of these younger billionaires. Elon, Bezos, get on it.
Elon, he just
Elon
puts
will
it
just
on
put it in
Mars.
space, yeah. There's
Yeah.
no point in it. Don't let him do it.
Yeah, good luck getting that, assholes.
Everyone, to Mars.
For one, I mean, no, fuck that. If it was just like 1 million to go to Mars, but you had to stay there, it's pretty useless.
It costs more than a million just to fucking get you out into space.
What about if it just cost you 999,999? So then you just
Worth it.
got $1.
Now we need the money for the fuel to get you to Mars. Ah!
Fuck. Oh well, shit. You've got to send it to Mars first, and then you've got to send the people to Mars.
Because the thing is, one of the most expensive things is getting things out of our atmosphere. It's not so much getting it through space, because there's no resistance in space.
Tell me about it. I've been trying to get you out of mine for ages.
But there's too much resistance.
So, with that one out of the way, let's move on to my final fact. Today I learned about the religion that is past the joke.
Pasta.
Past the joke.
It's a pasta joke.
Past the joke. So, for this one, we go to law student Minke, I hope it's Minke, De Wild from Nijmegen.
I think you've had a stroke.
No, I watched a video on how to pronounce it. It's Nijmegen.
I watched a video on how to have a stroke, but this is not one.
I wish I watched a video on how to counteract it because I'm blah blah blah.
So again, where's he from?
So this is a woman called
She from?
Mink de Wild from Nijmegen in the Netherlands.
Oh,
Nijmegen.
I was gonna say when it comes to those countries up there, I can't pronounce any of that.
Netherlands.
Up there in the Netherlands.
She's claiming to be part of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster
Oh no, that's a real thing.
that was created in 2005 by Bobby Henderson in response to some in response to some Christian fundamentalist teaching creationism in school. So if you don't know what creationism is, we'll speak English soon. Creationism is the belief that all life, us, animals, plants, the tables, literally everything was the result of divine intervention.
There's a specific pseudo science to it as well, where they're like, no, yeah, science and scientists are real, but only the ones that follow this. And then they're like, yeah, sure, dinosaurs existed, but we existed together because we've only been here for 2,000 years. And it's like there's like, I think there's like a museum in America where for creationists, and it's like it's all just like lies about dinosaurs and humans frolicking through shit. And it's like,
This sounds familiar to something that Christians like to make seem merry as well.
creationism can be explained as pretty much
Crusades.
any religion. But when it comes to it's where they're trying to educate children in schools following a religious path. So it's like, no, yeah, sure, there's science and stuff. Dinosaurs were here 2,000 years ago, and so we were dancing and eating cakes.
And dinosaurs were
Were
cakes. With-
Amen.
Ramen. So this was with Bobby demanding equal time in science class for the flying spaghetti monster. So the beliefs of the church, I'm just going to call them the FSM for short, include worshipping the FSM, wearing colanders on their heads, the belief that pirates were the original Pastafarians, a vow to reject crazy nonsense, Be nice to all sentient beings and eat a lot of pizza. And you can wear pirate outfits or colanders for ID photos. The religion was actually recognized in... You want to have a guess which country it officially recognized it as? Italy? I mean, you would think so. You would think that is. You would hope so. No, New Zealand.
Of course.
They approved it to conduct marriages in 2015.
More reason to move to New Zealand.
Yes.
All hail
the Prime Minister.
All hail Flying Spaghetti Monster and his noodly appendages.
And his Prime Ministers. They also
and
have...
her noodly appendages.
Their entire noodly Prime Ministers.
The noodly country.
I love the noodly country with their noodly prime ministers, with their noodly government, with their noodly.
I'm really
House of
hoping that
Commons.
that's their like official like church and state is the church and state of
New
spaghetti
Zealand.
meatball monster.
No, Howard, you said it wrong. The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, not the meatball. There's no meatball.
Giant spaghetti
in this.
meatball. Well, I want meatballs,
They're vegan.
so I'm creating my own religion.
And you can wear meatballs on your heads. So they have their own commandments called the "I'd really rather you didn't." Didn't
I really wish you would stop putting your fingers in my spaghetti.
in my ass.
That's what I call
My
my
ass
ass.
spaghetti. There were 10, but 2 of them got lost along the way. They include, and I've got a link for you in the description if you would rather read them yourselves instead of listening to me read them like an idiot. I'd need to read them like in sort of a
You need a Bible to put your hand.
sort of a
Oh, sorry, a menu.
sort of a holy way. I mean, that would be awesome. I'd really rather you didn't act like a sanctimonious, holier-than-thou ass when describing my noodle goodness. If some people don't believe in me, that's okay. Really, I'm not that vain. Besides, this isn't about them, so don't change the subject. That's the first one. The second one is, I'd really rather you didn't. Let me know when this gets annoying. Use my existence as a means to oppress, subjugate, punish, eviscerate, and or, be mean to others. I don't require sacrifices, and purity is for drinking water, not people.
You shits.
I'd really rather you didn't. Judge people for the way they look, or how they dress, or the way they talk, or, well, just play nice, okay? Oh, and get this in your thick heads. Women equals person. Man equals person. Samey equals samey. One is not better than the other. Unless we're talking about fashion. And I'm sorry, but I gave that to women and some guys who know the difference between teal and fuchsia. Fuchsia. Yeah, clearly I am not one of them. I'd really rather you didn't indulge in conduct that offends yourself or your willing, consenting partner of legal age and mental maturity. As for anyone who might object, I think the expression is go fuck yourself. Unless they find that offensive, in which case they can turn off the TV for once and go for a walk for a change. I like these commandments. I'd really rather you...
I've got to say, there's actually too many commandments. This is where it's like, the first commandment was like, what was it? Like, don't be like...
Don't be a dick, basically.
Well, it started off
don't
like,
be sanctimonious.
Don't be sanctimonious, don't be pious. This is getting really sanctimonious. George Carlin did a really good bit where he breaks the 10 commandments down, and he goes, actually, like he was like, there's too many commandments, you don't need them. They all say the same fucking thing. And he breaks down and he goes through why, and he goes, there's 2 commandments, maybe 1. And he literally breaks them all down and throws commandments away as he goes, and he goes, you can literally just put everything under this one umbrella term. He was like, religion doesn't have to be this like sanctimonious, this fucking pious. And it's exactly what they're doing. It's like their rule should be, it should be the first rule, and it shouldn't even be that long. It should just be, don't be a dick. Just don't be a cunt.
I mean, you say that, but unfortunately I've got bad news for you. We've got a few more. I'd really rather you didn't challenge the bigoted, misogynist, hateful ideas of others on an empty stomach. Eat, then go after the bitch. Or go after the bastard, whichever. I'd really rather you didn't build multi-million dollar churches / temples / mosques / shrines to my noodly goodness, when the money could be better spent on take your pick, ending poverty, curing diseases, living in peace, loving with passion.
But do feast on the spaghetti, for it is my body, and drinketh of the bolognese, for it is my blood.
But God, put the plate down, God! And lowering the cost of cable. I might be a complex carbohydrate, omniscient being, but I enjoy the simple things in life. I ought to know I am the creator. I'd really rather you didn't go around telling people I talk to you. You're not that interesting, get over yourself, and I told you to love your fellow man. Can't you take a hint? I'd really rather you didn't do unto others as you would have them do unto you if you were into.
Is this where the writer just got really high?
I think it was way before this.
Sorry, too high.
There's
Not really high, too high.
I'd really rather you didn't get less high.
You really wish I could stay awake.
Stuff that uses, so it says, I'm gonna have to start this again because it's a long sentence. I'd really rather you didn't do unto others as you would them do unto you if you are into staff that uses a lot of leather / lubricant / Las Vegas. What? If the other person is into it, however, so look at number 4.
You may touch them.
Then have at it. Take pictures, and for the love of Mike, wear a condom. Honestly, it's a piece of rubber. If I didn't want it to feel good, when you did it, I would have added spikes or something. I mean, he's got a point. If you successfully follow all of these commandments and finish all of your prayers with ramen instead of amen, you will ascend to heaven, where you will be greeted by a stripper factory and beer volcano. I'm assuming a stripper factory of your choice.
Sounds like a place that makes paint stripper.
It's
That doesn't sound very well. It smells nice. Oh, am I high?
God damn, am I disappointed? So we'll go back to Mink. I hate the fact that I'm going to say this completely wrong, but I'm going to say Minke.
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 Oh, Minke.
I'm sorry.
I'm also sorry.
I'm also not. She was declined the right to wear her colander on her passport / driver's / license photo, with the Dutch council declaring Pastafarianism not a real religion.
So she cried spaghetti.
Just out of the colander at the top. You know those little toys that you could get where you would just put the Play-Doh in and then you would just like push
she just
it
goes
out.
down like that and
And just a skull just comes through. You're making me cry.
I've become the spaghetti.
Even though I'm from Netherlands. When she was with this, she said, I can imagine that it all looks very odd if you don't believe. But that's the case with many faiths if you don't believe in them.
It probably looks odd if you do believe.
Yeah, I mean...
It's spaghetti.
It looks oddly delish. I mean, I wonder what that would be like if you've got like sort of this, you know, like imagine if you've got. So Howard, let me put you into a cult for a minute. You're in a cult or something. Let's just say, just so the person is an actual person in front of you, but they are made out of a delicious meal. How
they don't last long.
That's what I'm saying. They will.
But I could consume you and become the leader.
I could gain your powers.
Get in me.
No, I meant the other end.
No.
Did you not read the commandments? God, but she said that's the case with many faiths if you don't believe in them. People who walk on water or divide themselves into two, for example, I find other religions unbelievable. It may be the case that the colander is considered a holy object for Pastafarians, worn in honor of the flying spaghetti monster, but there is no obligation to do so, the Dutch council said in their ruling. So they're basically just saying, you can, but you don't.
You
have
crazy?
To. They just started to push further down on it. In fact, Pastafarianism has no obligations or restrictions. De Wilde, or Wilde, I want to say it's De Wilde, has said she wears her colander because she sees it as a duty, but it is an individual choice. It is important to be able to criticize religious dogma freely through satire, but that does not make such criticism a serious religion. So,
I mean, it does.
yeah, I mean, so
When you're willing to argue that your pointless bullshit outweighs someone else's pointless bullshit, then at the end of the day, you're just admitting your thing's pointless bullshit. I'm sorry, it's just a way of life, and they've chosen a pasta-related one.
which
And
to me
even-
sounds infinitely more delicious.
Even if they're doing that just to counteract yours, that makes it just as much a religion. Because they're willing to put their kind of
Life on the
hope
line.
and faith in this fake concept that they've created. So because they can't battle your concept with atheism, because theism and atheism are two different things. You can't fight, like science and religion are two completely different things. Whereas the belief in God being a spaghetti monster and that I have to have this pointless ritual where I wear this spaghetti thing on my head
Pointless, Howard.
is
We're getting a bit
exactly
far.
comparable to religion. It's exactly the fucking same. Whereas with science, it's like, no, science, we don't do things because of hope and faith. We do things to discover, and we observe things, and we make observations, and we make theorems based on them and hypotheses. Religion doesn't do any of those things. It did. It used to. Religion used to be the forefront of science because those were the people, the people who could afford to be clever and stuff. So you when it comes to science and stuff, yeah, you can't really argue that the belief in one thing over you can't argue away religion with science. It's a faith-based thing. Scientists and people who enjoy science should probably stop trying to do that. But a person can absolutely come up with another religion and just argue their points against yours. There's nothing saying that they can't.
Scientology's done it.
Exactly. The only difference there is they've got a lot of money and she hasn't. So what that says is all religion is bullshit.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Mm-hmm. So with that, do you want to have a guess what she's planning on doing next?
Kill everyone with spaghetti.
She just puts them through the strainer.
Become a Batman villain.
Whoa, pasta woman.
No. And these are
Basta man.
Ricotta. No, that's cheese. Spin. No.
Penne man. Penne person.
Macaroli.
She's planning. She's planning on taking this to the European Court of Human Rights, and there is a documentary called "I Pastafari" about the religion. If you're interested, the person who actually made that documentary did an AMA on Reddit. I'll put the link to that in the description as well if you're interested. If I forget to do it, tweet at Howard really angrily, and then he'll probably tell me about it. No, you can tweet at us at cluelessnet on Twitter, or email in at podcast@cluelessinter.net if I forget, because it's a good way to get into the mind of these Pastafarians, I believe. And Howard, while we're getting into the mind of the Pastafarians, we are also getting out of that section of Today I Learned.
Good, I'm sick of learning.
I want to turn my brain off and just let it go to mush. I haven't been doing that for the past how long?
How dare you?
We're moving on to my favourite section of the podcast. 3 real... Oh, no, sorry. How do you do it in the audio? 3 real...
Oh, 3...
And 3 fake.
All right, Howard. Are you ready for my favourite section of the podcast?
I'm more than ready.
3 real, 3 fake. So, The first one that I've got for you is real estate agent caught smuggling hundreds of thousands of Kinder eggs into Alabama through gardens of clients, facing up to 15 years.
True. Real.
Real?
Yes.
Okay. My next one is Chinese man nearly dies after using eel to cure constipation. Real or fake?
Damn.
Really fake or fakey
really
real?
Fake.
As you may say, maybe real.
or ack off.
My next one is 3,500-year-old soup can found in Slovakia containing fragments of former king and unsettling map attached.
They had cans back then.
Apparently.
I love it. Yeah, apparently. It didn't surprise me one bit.
No.
It's fake.
Fake? It may have been something like
Like a can.
like
Like a preservative
porcelain
thing.
pot or some shit. I don't know. Fucking old times. My next one is missing parrot turns up minus British accent and speaking Spanish.
True.
True?
I can believe that.
Next one is ice cream van rammed into side of building following turf war between differing ice cream companies.
In America?
You'll have to find out if it's fakey
True.
real. Man sues his date for $236,000 after kiss led to cold sore infection.
In America? It's true.
You want to say that one's true?
I think I already said 3 reels, so that'll have to be a fake one.
Okay. Marker. Because I think I may have heard Neelix outside.
Oh, the little shit. Just about to take a sip of me too.
I heard you picking up your mug.
Let me in.
How dare you not leave this door open for hours on end?
Here's my friends.
I call it dead bird. All right. So, Howard, let's go through these. My first one is man sues his date for the $236,000. That one was real.
Of course it was. America.
My next one is real estate agent. Well, you'd be surprised. Real estate agent caught smuggling hundreds of thousands of Kinder eggs was
Real.
fake.
Damn it.
The Chinese man nearly dying from using an eel to cure constipation
Fake.
was real.
No, they're all opposite of what I chose.
The 3,500-year-old soup can found in Slovakia containing
fake.
fragments of former king was fake.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because now that I'm reading it back, 3,500 years ago was probably before like Slovakian and kings were around and soup cans. So,
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we were still preserving things by hanging them up in the dark.
like we do today. The missing parrot turning up with minus his British accent and speaking Spanish was real. That's an actually quite nice one. I'll end on that one. And the ice cream van, which again I was writing this and going, I wish this was real. So ice cream
Well,
truck
this is
people,
a movie.
if you're listening to this in an ice cream truck, ram it into the side of a hopefully abandoned building so that we can talk about it and say that it was part of a turf war with differing ice cream countries. Differing ice cream countries.
I wanted to
Yes,
make it happen.
I will take the movie rights. Thank you, Michael Bay. Oh no, more like you'll take the movie rights, Michael Bay. Get in touch. I'm always available. Not for that, for the movie. Ice cream explosions.
Explosions.
Would you like a cone with that?
I meant a nuclear.
I meant my mistletoe. Or my toe missile.
My toe missile.
So, with the man suing his date for $236,000 Australian dollars, because that's where this article was written, after a kiss led to a cold sore infection. So this story is about Martin Conway, 45, who is a personal trainer. Now keep that in mind. Personal trainer.
I've forgotten it.
It's a He met this woman named Giovanna Lovelace on meetup.com. Now, I don't know if this is a real name.
No,
but I
it
hope
sounds like
is.
a honey trap.
It was a 36-year-old man called Wayne. No.
It was Dave.
And he was actually 37. Everything was going well. So they met up and, clearly they liked each other.
Enough to then put face on face.
Yeah, so they met up in July 2019 and they had a wonderful time and they pashed.
They what?
They pashed.
I don't know what that is.
They pashed.
Keep saying it, but it's not getting any clearer.
They pashed, Howard.
They passed away. Sure.
Yeah, that's the end of that story. No, so pashed is Aussie slang for tongue, basically. They pished.
They Frenched.
Yeah, basically,
Right.
yeah. So they Aussied. So this was an Australian article, which is why it has Australian slang. But they actually met up in London. They're actually from
Right.
London.
Very nice.
So thinking it was all lovely, they parted their ways. Martin.
Gross.
That's what she calls them. They parted ways, and Martin headed home. But he got more than he bargained for. He fell ill.
She hadn't completely parted at all.
She was stuck to him like glue. They were conjoined twins. This is a really gross story. No, he fell ill several days later with flu-like symptoms and mouth ulcers. Luckily, at the right time, he didn't fall ill with flu symptoms now, because that would have been awkward. But, yeah. After him and his date pashed, he contracted a cold sore. I'm going to keep saying
It sounds like two people just got together and just kind of went...
They just hit each other in the faces with their own face. I mean, technically, that's what happens, but in slow motion, very delicately.
Yeah.
If you're pashing with someone and you headbutt them in the face, it's probably not a good sign that the date is going well.
It's got to be a skill that if you can run head first at your partner and then kiss and pass without knocking each other out.
Well, you've got to
I suppose there's a skill there.
Well, you've got to do it sort of how they do the fusion in Dragon Ball. You've got to do it so
Come
that
in
it's
just
so
at the right angle.
perfectly yeah, because if you're because when you run super fast, especially when you do the Naruto run, which I hope everyone's doing, your head goes down, so you sort of have to make sure your
If you're doing it properly.
Yeah, if you're doing it properly, like a real man. Your heads are at the same height. You want to hope that your heads are at the same height, because if she's at a 90-degree angle, and
You're going to get a face full of cheer.
you're just going to get a face full of concrete when you trip and fall because you're not doing it right, Karen.
Okay. Racist.
She took the kids.
I love all the people that are complaining about the name Karen, and then Bill Burr was like, "The fuck are you people? Are you people?" And then everyone has now decided that Bill Burr's is fucking a liberal snowflake, and it's like, really? Oh, Jesus Christ!
As I just took away my all Karen's lives matter.
It's like, you've changed, Bill, because you find Karen funny.
She's fucking hilarious. She is. Oh god, some of them. I watched somebody do I watched somebody called Critical on Twitch do a Karen tier list. Mwah. That shit was beautiful. We may have to do that in the future. I'm mentally stealing that idea for future date.
Don't hold on to it too hard. You might become a Karen.
What did you fucking say? So after...
Give me a manager.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I am the manager of this vessel. Get me another one. Anyway, after him and his date, if you're a Karen and you're not a Karen, then we apologize slightly. Not really.
Just sit down, Karen.
Just doing it. And if you're already sitting, do it harder. So after him and his date pashed, Naruto run, side kiss, got him. He contracted the cold sore. He got the good old herp, saying, "I was upset, angry, and very confused. I wanted justice and to see her hang." No, I'm joking. I wanted justice. And it was then I decided I want to take legal action against the respondent for the illness she brought upon me. Describing it as a virus for life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you'll see he's a
It's
little.
also not the end of the world.
He's a little bit dramatic.
Yeah.
So he's now suing her for £136,000, £328, not pence, roughly $170,000, $30. Why do I keep stopping at the comma?
This is how much my face is worth.
$136,000.
Pretty sure it's not worth that much.
Yeah. Oh. It was a pity swipe. Stating she failed to inform him that she had the herpes simplex virus. I think it's herpes or herpes simplex virus. I think it's herpes. When she had a moral and ethical and legal duty to warn him of the risks before they
The problem with
patched.
cold sores is they don't always show up. So she might not have even had one at the
You have
time or
flares
even thought
of it.
about it. Yeah. She might not have even thought about it at the time. It's like
She probably thought you gave it to
she
her.
might. Yeah, she might not have had a cold sore for a whole fucking year. But that's the problem with them. It's like it's a normal thing, and eventually most people, by the time they're old, will get cold sores because it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I mean, just enjoy it while you don't. And also, it's the reason that he probably got it is because he wasn't doing the run properly. I can only assume that he's not doing the run properly. His arms are not parallel with his body. So
Why did you lick my ear?
I did the run wrong.
I'm suing you.
I'm just imagining them on London Bridge just trying this multiple times, running past each other and all the people that are just trying to miserably get to work, and they're just Naruto running down the bridge. My mind is a wonderful place. Most of the time. So yeah, she had a moral, ethical, and legal duty to warn him. He says that this has stopped him from pursuing his dream job of being a lawyer.
Why?
Because lawyers kiss their people.
It stopped me being a lip transplantee. I'm so very angry.
136,000 million pounds, please.
I was going to sell these lips.
You were my first customer. And look how you betrayed me. He said he's scared to go outside and cycle because the heat may cause a flare-up, and the psychological implications were hard to manage. The money is to cover fortnightly therapy sessions he requires.
I was going to say fortnight.
I'm just so depressed. I really just want to sit here and play Fortnite.
I spent so much money on Fortnite.
But look, I'm Thanos. So he'll have fortnightly therapy sessions he requires until the age of 79. I'm not sure if he means physical or mental therapy. I
Yes.
assume a mix.
Well.
I assume a pick and mix. Like he just goes, last week I did the mental. Beautiful, but this time I want somebody to rub my infected lips. Gross. This is how it all started, as well as lost earnings. However, in a twist of events that no one saw coming, Johanna fought back. I think it's Johanna or Giovanna.
She killed him.
She kissed him more times.
All over
And
the
made him
penis.
into a clicker.
Oh dear.
With her lawyer saying the case is frivolous and vexatious. Evidently, the lawyer had the herp as well and could not speak, apparently. No, that's just me. I mean, just not being able to spit. I'm going to move on now. And are asking for the case to be struck out, while also adding, the statement of case discloses no reasonable grounds for bringing the claim, calling it an abuse of the process of the court. The case is set to be heard later this year, so we won't.
So forget that.
Yeah, we probably won't go back to that. I did put so. Stay tuned, as I may remember it later. I probably won't. I mean, that Forest Fen is probably like a 1 in a million chance that I'll remember anything we spoke about on the podcast.
I think that one seemed to hit the news as well.
Yeah.
Which is why, you probably went, oh, shit.
I was like, fuck, I remember that name. There are two. So I added this at the end. I was going to put this in the middle, but I thought it was very medical in the middle. There are 2 types of HSV that can happen on the mouth, lips, and genitals.
And he has all of them.
At the same time, he's got mega herpes.
Sick a burn, dude.
He's got so he's not got HSV. Well, he might do. So you got HSV-1, which is mainly oral to oral, or like passion out style herpes.
We call it Pershies.
We're being sued.
Pershies kisses.
Yes, please. I'm not saying that I want to taste it, but I want to see it. So this can include symptoms such as cold sores and stuff like that. An estimated 3.7 billion people under the age of 50 have HSV-1. Then you've got HSV-2, electric boogaloo, is a sexual kind, which has an estimated 491 million victims between the age of 15 and 49. As of the article being written on May the 1st by the World Health Organization. The WHO. So.
Yes, the World Health looking at who? No.
Who? Yes, that's what I said. The doctors. Who doctors?
Doctor Who?
What? Oh, God.
No.
First Hershey's, they're the BBC. And that's the end of the herp story for you.
That's the end of herpes forever.
It had a herpy
We solved
ending.
it.
It had a herpy ending.
Happy birthday.
Sorry, Harold, I can't hear you laughing hysterically. There was a herpy ending. Thank you. Glad I installed the soundboard. My next one is a Chinese man nearly dies after using eel to cure constipation. There is I can't think of the quotations between cure and constipation.
Yeah.
Because
I put it up my butt to feel good. I didn't feel good.
If it worked, we probably wouldn't be talking about it right now. So
it ate his brain. It did.
It slithered up his spine.
Oh.
Gross. So the man was believed to be in his 50s. His identity has been hidden for obvious reasons, Don't want to give anyone the chance to
Don't give anyone any ideas.
To worship him. He doesn't want to take the credit for this wonderful cure, basically.
Because it didn't work.
Who are you to say? We haven't got through the story. I also scrolled right to the top of the document, so I lost the story for a second.
I'm no longer constipated, but have lost the control of my lower body and talk through a computer.
Hello. Bend over. Here's the process. So, let's do this. So, I'm going to do this by sort of a play-by-play of how it panned out. So, step 1. He inserts the eel into himself. I'm going to let you imagine that visual. Step 2. It tears his intestines apart.
Step 3, the end.
Step 3, it dies. Step 4, he gets in touch with I'm not even going to say the names of these places, the hospital in that area. In Dongguan.
No, that's right. I've actually heard of that. Dongguan,
Yeah, Dongguan?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay, Dongguan. A hospital in Dongguan. I'm not going to say the name of the hospital because that is infinitely more harder to pronounce. Step 5, he gets rushed into surgery. Step 6, profit. I mean, at least you physically can't have constipation anymore. So I see this as a win.
We've replaced your intestines with this eel you put up there.
His name's Carl. Be nice.
You've got to feed him or he will bite.
So here's a visual. He just starts dropping stuff into a bucket and he's like, that's kind of how it works now. You have no insides.
It kind of just goes straight through.
You're kind of like a mobile fish tank if you want to think about it that way.
Don't forget to feed Carl.
Yeah, he may wriggle a bit, but he's nice. We had coffee. Dr. Lee from the hospital said we suspected. I mean, we've just made all that up, but the eel's dead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could just sew
They
him
could have just turned that into
a makeshift intestine.
His body might have rejected it, but it was organic, man. Maybe they could
Might.
have used. Maybe they could have used the skin to just create a tube. He wouldn't. Food would go into his belly still if it didn't eat his belly.
I think it probably just got as far as the intestines and was
If it
like,
got-
fucking hell.
If it got as far as the intestines, there are people who actually have things like this, like who have less intestines, and it basically means your digestive system is at a different timing. So basically, once it hits your stomach and your stomach gets rid of it, then if there's a very short digestive tract, then it's like you eat and very quickly you need to go to the toilet, essentially.
That kind of sounds like a blessing and a curse. I mean, because if you want to go like for a run or something, you could just like just scoff it down and then you would just shit like really quickly afterwards. But if
it comes with a lot of other digestive problems because you haven't got that intestine system that allows things to,
Oh yeah, ignore me thinking about extracurricular activities. It would be very awkward in a business meeting.
I just want to poop.
I'm going to do it real fast. So Dr. Lee from the hospital said we suspected that there was a foreign object in his abdominal cavity from the CT scan, but we couldn't tell where it came from. I wonder where.
I think the eel pooped in him.
They later found the eel because I suppose it just kind of looked. Oh, because it would be in your intestines, so like the X-ray wouldn't go through.
It might not show up. Well, it might not show up as anything that looks weird because it's like, well, that looks like intestines to me.
It's a tube in a tube.
It's a bunch of tubes.
That's how life revolves.
Wait, this tube has teeth.
Just tubes and tubes.
That ain't no tube. That ain't no tube. That tube's got teeth.
That's a super tube. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. You could have like a trash compactor afterwards. That's car for you. They later found the eel that was 40 centimeters long and the thickness of an adult thumb. So if you want to add 40 centimeters, that's almost half a meter.
That's a lot smaller than I was imagining.
Were you imagining like a fucking giant eel?
I was thinking of more like maybe a class of like eel you'd see in like a river or something. Maybe they've got smaller. Like
I would assume it's like probably from a canal or like a little lake or something. So there's probably. Oh, I hope he fucking cleaned it before.
I was gonna say, where the fuck did he get the eel?
Oh, I don't want to know. They later found the eel. So, blah, blah, blah. They even showed the footage, which I do not have or wish to have.
No thanks.
On Chinese TV. So they aired this. They aired them pulling it out. I don't think they showed his face because of personal reasons, non-eel related reasons. But luckily, our man survived the operation, but waited 3 days to come clean about how it got stuck up there. So, you remember you pulling the eel out the other day? Well, you know how I said I slipped and I fell down 3 flights of stairs and it was at the bottom and it went up and it was a whole accident? Dr. Lee?
I tried to fucking eel.
And the worst part, he was really damn good. He tore it up in there. Ow. With Lee added, the eel entered through the anus and rectum. I think it had quickly torn a hole already while in the colon. He got the surgery.
I don't know what else he expected.
No, neither. I mean, okay, so when I read this, my initial reaction is he thought that it would just eat the shit and slide back out.
I mean, wasn't this a form of torture in the medieval times where they would like literally like put rats up your butt and then put a candle at the other end so the rats only have one way to go?
Oh my god!
And then because they're panicking, they just rip everything apart from the inside. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like medieval torture methods.
I mean, if you're trying to get answers,
why would you put anything with teeth up your butt?
I'm gonna say, from the fact that he did it, I'm gonna say he didn't Google much pre doing this. He probably just saw it and went, "Fuck, that's a tube. That's a tube." That might just
that's
work.
A tube in a tube.
Are you hungry? Like, because
I'm gonna put you in my tube, dude.
I'm gonna put you on my tube so you can eat the tubes I make.
I'm gonna call you Carl.
I'm gonna call you Toby. Toby. Yes.
Toby the tube.
Toby the really, really angry tube. Ow, ow. Apparently, he got to surgery literally just in time. It was touching cloth. Because it was a.
Why is there cloth up your ass?
Because the eel needed a bib.
It was lunchtime.
It told me it was hungry. I'm really high, by the way. Because it was a live eel, the possibility of death is very high if the surgery was not done timely. And that was Dr. Lee saying that. This was similar to a case in New Zealand in 2012, where another unnamed man, for obvious reasons, went to A&E, went to the A&E department in Auckland, in the Auckland City Hospital, with an eel up his arse. Now, unfortunately,
sticking out like a Saiyan tail,
like a pickle.
I am Goku.
I'm a big fan, Sean. Sean Shammel's the voice actor for Goku. If you don't know that, just to fill you in on the joke, now you're all included. So I say so. The first guy had his rectal retrieval blasted on Chinese television.
The other guy had it filmed cinematically.
Michael Bay came in to direct this one.
I think we're going to need an explosion here.
The guy just on the table going, where?
Give me 20 cc's of explosives.
Give me 20 cc's of eel.
And explosives.
In the eels. Transformers,
Mr. Bay.
what?
The eels have exploded early.
Did we at least film them? So the first guy had it blasted all over Chinese TV without his face on there, obviously for health and safety reasons. Whereas this guy had the Herald on Sunday reported it with the headline, Man had eel in his bum, saying the article, the eel was about the size of a decent sprig of asparagus. and the incident is the talk of the place. Doctors and nurses have come across people with strange objects that have got stuck where they shouldn't be before, but an eel has to be a first.
I thought you said, like, my brain didn't quite work. When you said an eel, it sounded like he put Neil up his ass.
He kneeled at my ass. Basically, this guy survived as well. So, hurrah! They both survived and probably did this again.
That's total us eels.
You fucks. Now come here.
Come at me. No, not that way.
No. I mean, come in me. Ah!
Phrasing.
Anyway, moving on from the common eels, we're going to a bird that's coming and going. The missing parrot that turned up, the missing parrot that had a British accent, but then turned up speaking Spanish with probably a Spanish accent. Would you guess? So this was an African grey parrot called Nigel.
Nigel, that's nice.
His owner.
Did he have like a regional accent from anywhere? Was it somewhere in?
He had a Nigel accent. So Nigel, squawk. That would get really annoying. Where's my Guinness? Squawk.
Mother.
Nigel. I just want to imagine that's all he says is just Nigel.
It's me, Nigel.
Karen. Fuck it. The bird's broken
Here's
again.
a cracker.
Cracker.
I'm parched.
I'm Nigel.
I'm also parrot.
His owner, Darren Chick, is from the UK originally, so Nigel had a full-blown British accent. He went missing.
That's a lot of accents.
A full-blown range.
I'm feeling a little Welsh this week.
Actually, parrots have probably never been so bilingual before because of how many different regions you can watch TV in.
The reason why I knew that this one was true was because fucking birds migrate all the time. Of course, it went somewhere warm and then came back with a Spanish accent.
Now, that's where I'm going to have to say fuck you because, we'll get into it. He went missing 9 as of now, like the article was written about 5 years ago, from his Californian home. Now,
okay.
You may be thinking, what kind of wacky adventures did old Nigel get up to in order to learn Spanish?
I was on a boat.
We're Spanish people. It's pretty simple. Fucking idiot. I mean, ¿cómo está?
Bueno.
Buenos dias. Fucking idiot.
No fuego. What?
Nailed it. I'll be the same, pet.
Oh, lovely.
Well, 4 years ago,
I'll be in Fuego.
I mean Nigel. I love this parrot already.
I'm a parrot.
Apparently,
Boots.
I'm
Yes.
Spanish. Apparently.
Si.
Yeah, I can hear everyone at home laughing at that one.
Si,
so.
senor. Parrot.
Si, senor. Nigel.
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 Everything is much more dramatic. Wait, what accent was that?
Well, so 4 years after going missing, someone found Nigel and brought him to the vet, who scanned his microchip, finding Darren. So the thing is, it makes it... So, I'm going to read this out and then I'll tell you my annoyance with this. He wept tears of joy when he was reunited with Nigel.
No, I didn't.
But
So where the fuck have you been?
fucking hell, where have you been? Just
No,
down
I
the
j-
pub, Jesus Christ. Shut up. But the Torrance Daily Breeze newspaper said they had someone email in saying they were heartbroken to find that Nigel had flown away from their home. This was Lisa Smith and her grandparents, who had been looking after Nigel. Well, not Nigel. They renamed him to Morgan. Morgan.
What,
Morgan. After the popular
I
rum.
think I probably sound more like this.
Squawk.
Squawk.
I'm God.
Andy Dufresne. Oh, God, sorry.
So they named him Morgan after the popular rum. They had bought him for $400 at a garage sale. 400. You found the bird, and then you just
Okay.
so they were smuggling animals basically, and learnt Spanish from the 86-year-old Guatemalan-born grandfather Ruben Hernandez. So Darren.
That's a racist bird.
So Darren made the ultimate sacrifice. He killed Nigel. No, he returned Nigel/Morgan to the Smiths' house, and not long after being reunited. So Morgan had become...
I am so confused.
Where
How
am
did
I?
I get here?
Am I Nigel or am I Morgan? Or can I be...
I can be both.
Nigel. Nigel.
Both is good.
Morgan.
Morgan!
I prefer Morgan, back where I belong.
Nigel. I can't do that in his accent.
So, Morgan became a great comfort to Ruben after his wife passed away. Rest in peace.
Rest in pepperonis.
Rest in parrots.
In Paris?
I mean, if it's a good resting place,
He's
it's
all
probably
over the
pretty
place.
fucking noisy though. The parrot is one of the last memories of my grandma. Or my grandpa. Blah, 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 blah. The parrot is one of the last mementos for my grandpa, said Lisa. Morgan's loss has hit him hard. They have a special bond. I don't want to know. And just to put the icing on the cake, Morgan knows the first bars of the theme from the movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Barks like a dog and likes to imitate the binman truck for some fucking reason. I hope he does it.
I am a truck.
Fucking hell, this stinks.
I am also a parrot.
I just want to imagine that he doesn't just do the truck, he does everyone that's with it. So it's just, you hear somebody going, Jesus Christ, how much do these people fucking drink? And it's like, God, this parrot's good. You can also check out the comments of this Reddit post, so all the links will be in the description as usual. You're best off probably going and finding them on cluelessinter.net. I haven't said that for a while. Cluelessinter.net. Because some of the fucking streaming platforms or podcast hosting platforms fucking sort your shit and make the links fucking clickable. I'm looking at you, Spotify. You've bought Joe Rogan for 130 million, or you can at least fucking make a link work. So yeah, so if you want to check out some nice parrot stories that are quite wholesome, you can go and check out the comments in the description or in the Reddit post, because there are some quite wholesome ones, and I thought that is the one that we should end on. because we're done with 3 Real 3 Fake, Howard.
Oh, no.
We're moving on to Today I Fucked Down. I mean, up.
And yes.
Today, I fucked up.
All right, welcome back to Today I Fucked Up. I keep saying like 3 Real 3 Fake is my favorite part of the podcast, but it's a dead tie, I think, between Today I Fucked Up and 3 Real 3 Fake. I mean, Today I Learned is sick because we get to learn a few things, but it's just not as good. It's in my opinion,
not the same.
That's your hot take for this episode. Is my opinions of our sections. That was probably really boring. All right.
Maybe it's not my favourite.
No, maybe it's not. I'm thinking of the logisticals of it. The logistics.
The logisticals, they're a bit like testicles, but they're smarter.
Exactly, like us.
Smart balls.
That's what they call me. The first one I've got for you today is Today I Fucked Up offering lunch. Now,
to the Pope.
To someone important. I would hope.
Someone not the Pope, but important.
Morgan Freeman.
Where's my sandwich?
Yeah, so Morgan Freeman's coming to lunch. So if you want to act the part of Morgan Freeman, that will be
No. I asked for pastrami.
And what did I get? Being God. I can't do his voice, I don't think.
I can't do it great, but every now and again.
We need to have him actually on the podcast. To make 100...
No.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry, he actually has a life. My girlfriend and I are from 2 different neighbouring countries. I am from Hungary, and she is from Slovakia. If you remember the Slovakian king who was in a can. We communicate in English. But naturally, we have begun slowly learning each other's language, which is quite nice. I like the idea of that.
Now we speak half and half.
And we just can't understand anything at this point. Even the Google Translate is struggling because it's like, what? He said half of this.
In Spanish. What
Where
did this even come into it?
I've never translated that before. As I learn more and more words and phrases, I like to put what I know already to use and speak to her family in Slovak. Slovak? Oh, Slovak?
Slavic, yeah, I think so.
Oh, Slavic, yeah. Oh, that probably makes more sense. They speak English as well, so I don't have to do this.
This with the hand all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like saying bread, but really I mean a car alarm. They do sound the same.
I mean, oh God, that's so confusing. So, when I learned that na obed is their equivalent of for lunch, I was making a lot of stupid jokes by pretending random words that I know to this construct. What? So he's just
applying it's made of puppies. Yes, building made of puppies. Sure, I'm doubling down on my misconceptions of the language.
They look confused. They look shocked. They look aroused.
They're eating out of the palm of my hands. Got them right where
I'm winning this. When I learned that did I already say that? I was making a lot of stupid jokes, pretending words that I knew. Words that I know to this construct, yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
It sounds like he's kind of like, he's just guessing some of the parts of sentences. He's like, I'm sure this means what it means, but the rest of the family are like, okay.
They'll get it. Yeah, they'll get it. Like, I feel like I'm like that. I'm just sort of like, what? I mostly made these jokes to her and her sister. However, this one time I saw her mother preparing some seeds for the birds they keep in the living room. Oh, no, that's normal. Why am I saying that's a question? Birds in the living room?
The living room?
They
should be in the oven.
Stupid.
Birds are for eating, not for loving.
Look at it flying, free from my grasp.
A disgrace.
Having previously learned that bird is fatak in Slovak, I thought that this was a perfect opportunity for me to present my knowledge of the language. He's getting ready to big brain these bitches.
I failed.
What? And he starts pointing to the salt. I failed.
What?
He's also a deaf 52-year-old. What? So I asked her, smiling, Obed Nafatak. I hope that's right. Probably not.
Something bad.
May I kill that bird? Then this genius idea crossed my mind to make a stupid joke, or Fatak na Obed. Fuck it, that probably doesn't make sense to them, and they just hear
It doesn't make sense to
all
me.
they're hearing is womp, 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 womp. Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me either. Jesus,
I'm trying to follow along.
I pre-read this. He basically probably meant to say, "Is that a bird?" or "Bird that is." For some
So he had the genius idea to
reverse
be
them.
Yoda.
I mean, if Yoda didn't speak a language, I suppose, because he's just saying Fatakna Obed, which means just Obed Natak. Fatak, sorry. Obed Fatak means forward, so he's just swapping them, so it doesn't make sense in anyone's language at that point.
Stupid boy.
So he's basically just going, wah, 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 wah.
It's just, why aren't they laughing?
Who's your new boyfriend? He's cute.
Is he having a seizure?
Should I call an ambulance? Oh, God.
Kid, you're an ambulance. Yeah, got him.
Look, he doesn't understand.
Fatak. What an idiot. I told him it means bored.
Douchebag.
Idiot.
Oh, God. What an aggressive family. Poor guy doesn't know the language and they're just roasting him. Roasting him like this bird. Oh, God. What a fucking idiot.
What a fatak.
Oh, God. I just realised, no, that would make sense in their language. It would just be backwards, but it would just sound ridiculous.
I think he's slow.
Oh, he was on that table. My GF's older sister burst out in hysterical laughter, shortly followed by her mother. It would have been good for me to know that fatak is also common slang for penis, meaning I have basically required if she would like dick for lunch. Fuck yeah. Her mother and sister periodically reminds me of the story by proposing fatak for lunch when discussing ideas for the next day.
Is that like come from like choking the chicken or something? Why would you call your dick a bird other than for that? Like
Unless
that?
it's called Richard.
This is my dick.
Richard.
This is my dick. His name is Dick.
He's a bird. I'm sorry, I don't know what to make out of that story. So, but
Well
it
done
sounds like the start of a
for
very.
reading that.
Thank you.
Sounds like it was torture.
Yes, I feel like my eyes are going to implode. It sounds like the start to a Pornhub video to me.
Terrible porno.
Yes, it says like you got the words wrong. Let's fuck, basically.
Would you like my penis for dinner?
It just goes, yes. Imagine if they both just went like, oh yeah, fuck. And he had no idea what he just said. He could have just offered off his liver or something. Oh, fuck me. What a beautiful story that was. I feel like that's going to be part of the... Neelix is not very happy with that story. Ready for our next one, Howard?
No.
Okay. The next one is, today I fucked up by taking an online class. Any thoughts? Any online classes that you've taken in the past?
It was an online class in getting harassed. And now I'm being harassed
In
everywhere.
person. Oh, what
I
about
don't
that?
know.
An online class teaching about how not to be harassed in real life.
No, that would be beneficial. I was trying to think things that were unbeneficial.
Unbeneficial.
Unbeneficial
Uncle
is
Ben.
a word I just made up.
Fatakna Obed.
I do not understand what you are saying.
I do not. Oh, it's like the SpongeBob thing.
Me
I
speak
do
no
not
biscuit.
Speak. Understand you. I know. I know SpongeBob. Oh God. Today is my second day doing online courses at my university due to the COVID-19 quarantine. I like this. I like the ring. To
I like the ring of that. Let's try and sell it.
COVID-19 quarantine. Get your pro.
It's a shame it didn't happen in 2019. Whoa.
Then we would have been really in the money.
You didn't rhyme. You just said 19 twice. Shut up. I got a meeting out of the palm of my hands. You should wash those.
I feel like I need to take this class on not get harassed in person. So this morning we had a presentation session for our semestrial. Is it semestrial? That sounds like a horrible word. Semestrial projects.
That's weird.
With 2 coaches on Microsoft Teams.
I've never heard it called semester. I would have just said my semester. Because what's it? The word's like a
Cemetery
no.
of finances
No.
is a school.
Say the word again.
The semestrial.
Yeah, it's a No.
Semestrial?
Yeah, it's a semestary.
I thought it was a school of sorts.
It's a length of time, isn't it? Semester.
Oh yeah, so I suppose.
So you would just say my semester's project because you're talking about a chunk of time.
Semestrial.
You don't need to say
either
semestrial.
Semestrial feels sort of viral or interstellar rather than.
So I
rather
was
than
in
time.
space at school.
In this semestrial time. So yeah, he's at school. Sorry, he's at school doing his semester. So he's doing a presentation to his 2 coaches on Teams. They start by asking if everyone was doing okay. We took turns speaking, yada yada. I remember that I'm in this class with one of my good buddies, whom I immediately begin messaging.
With my brain.
In the chat room. With my brain. In the chat section. Because, my focus is already faltering. I like how it makes us sound so quite eloquent. You know what I mean? So we start.
Well, I did pay for school.
I should know words. So we start with the presentations. I'm touching up my own to make it a little bit cheerier and eventually... Oh, clearer. Sorry, not cheerier. Although, clean.
Both is good.
Clearer, cheerier.
And cheerier.
Well, I have dyslexia. It's my friend's turn in the spotlight. He manages to not manage... What? He manages to not manage... And
dice. What? How do you manage to not manage?
At least we recorded it. To not manage.
I thought this guy went to school.
Yeah, he says he manages to not manage and takes forever to share his screen. Oh, so he's basically fucking up. Oh, God. Can't seem to make his mic work properly. The typical Skype call with your grandma. Did your grandma ever forget to plug in the microphone? I don't.
My grandma does not use Skype.
My grandma does not own a computer.
She has a laptop. I don't think she would know what Skype is. She
think...
uses it to check emails, and that is it. Pretty much, I think.
I mean, to be honest, the main focus of a computer at the end
is
of the day
to check your emails.
Yes. I barely do that myself, so I should probably
I should get better at using computers.
I'm really bad at using computers.
I should check my emails.
Just my emails.
At least once.
A day. Preferably.
I meant once. Just really look at those.
Just once.
At some point.
One semestrial period of time you will check your emails. This has gone on too long.
Moving on.
I have lost my place in the story.
In life.
May as well. At this point. May as well. What time is it?
Morgan, save me.
11:30. I'm tired. Bear with.
Okay, rar.
I'm finished. I'm finished.
I'm fading.
I'm fainting. Oh, Jesus.
Now I need the toilet. This is not going well.
We're falling apart. I, of course, begin poking at him in my personal chat, sending messages like,
Gross.
"Are you stoned? Yes. Remove your balls from the mic before speaking into it." Fucking hell. And other such nonsense. So this is on Teams. Sorry, I thought it was on Discord. I was going to be like, oh, so it's the lame one.
Get your balls off the microphone. I can't see them.
They look pretty today. I can hear him struggling not to laugh as I'm cackling over my own muted mic. This guy's fucked this guy over. I'm sorry.
I'm so funny.
Look at him. He's dying. His presentation ends, and we go for a 10-minute break, during which we exchange a couple of messages of, "Damn, this session sucks," and "Stop jerking off to premium Pornhub sort." He just said sort. I mean, I hope he means sort of shit, but he just sort of left it as, "And stop jerking off to premium Pornhub sort." Man, I need to check through these stories more often.
He's so funny.
So here is where the fuck up actually happens. You're probably guessing already. As we
I'm not. I have no idea. I don't know where the story's going. I thought you went to school.
Why are you there?
Right better.
Oh, no masks. Oh, God. As we join back into the call after the break, I'm called upon to start my presentation. I oblige and run through my slides. At the end, the coaches go over a couple of questions and end by asking if my fellow students have remarks of their own. Of course, everyone's mic is muted because no one wants to give comments in person. Just saying. And it's sort of like, oh God, you know, when people, after they describe something to you and they say, "Any questions?" And no one asks any questions most of the time.
Because most of the time, no one's taken anything in, and they've just the moment that they refocus is when they hear any questions. What did he say?
About what?
I'm gonna shut up.
Who is he? Tak no I bed.
I think everyone understood him. Sure.
I got it. Of course, everyone's mic is muted. Astonishing silence. I alt-tab from PowerPoint to Teams and go to the chat section, or chat session. I send my buddy, "Oh, well, this is awkward," and wait for an answer. A couple seconds later, one of my coaches clears his throat and says, Lipschitzel, I think.
Liebschitzel?
Liebschitzel? Oh, it might be Liebschitzel. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's his Twitch name. Oh, not his Twitch name. His Reddit name. So LS, I'll call you from now on. You know you're broadcasting your chat right now. Oh shit! So he went into a chat with his friend, but his microphone is still active in the main chat.
Oh no!
He fucked up.
But didn't he just say, "Well, this is awkward"? Wasn't that all he said?
I think so. Well, he put, "Well, this is awkward," and a couple seconds later, he said, "Oh, well, I guess. Oh, I suppose that's a little bit awkward."
What, they saw his chat of him and his mate, like, basically poking each other with like quips, like "Stop looking at Pornhub" and stuff, and they actually thought they were being serious. What?
Oh, I think he put it in the He put it in the chat. He didn't voice it. I thought he was talking to his friend saying, "Well, that's awkward." I'd be like, "Oh, well, you know, that's not too bad," because then it's just like kind of a joke. But when you put it in chat for some reason, it's just, whoa. I don't know. That's not.
He needs to explain better what is happening at all times.
How do you know what I think this is? I think I'm just going to put this down, and I think I'm just going to say this is a real melodrama and not really a fuck up as per se. Like, at least he didn't say, "Oh, fucking hell, I hate those lot."
I thought maybe he'd actually shared porn or something. I was like,
no.
People saw you say, "Well, this is awkward." Well, you know what? This is awkward. You're right. This is the end of the story. Goodbye.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip this one.
Does it go anywhere? Have you read ahead?
No, but I can. It's sure though. I see that beautiful red outline around my screen, framing the vile collection of prepubescent banter that is my chat.
Is that it?
I don't think I have ever alt-tabbed the fuck out of somewhere that fast before. I think I died of shame on the spot. I do believe I managed a poker voice. Yes, sorry. Oh, so it was in voice chat? Again, what? This seems like it's not too big of a deal. It just sounds really awkward, kind of. It just sounds slightly awkward.
Yeah.
To me, this isn't a fuck up, dude. You're fine. Bro,
Yeah.
I've said so much.
Everyone
fucking
will
words.
forget that pretty quick.
Yeah,
You're
it's
fine.
just
I've already
bro.
forgotten.
I was just about to say, if I'm being honest, bro, it's kind of already gone out of my mind. So, who are you again? Leipzig Schitzel.
Cool, I've never used this before, but I'm gonna use it now. Cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story, bro. You're fine.
You're all right.
You're all right, kid.
You just got a bit of a mouth on you.
That you don't know how to shut. Okay.
I can help you with it.
I'll put you to sleep. Okay, we're gonna
With
move
my
on.
foot.
That was a very weird story. That you'll be fine, bro. I feel like I'm giving advice now. You'll be fine, bro.
Yeah, I think someone was a bit worried that they'd massively fucked up there, but I think you're all right.
I think you're okay. I think you're perfect. Yeah. Today
Maybe
I
a
fucked
bit
up.
weird. You weird person.
No, you're all good. Today I fucked up by ice fishing is my next one. Good luck to you, dude, from the last one. Respect. This one is hot off the press, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a long one.
Oh.
I'm up at our family's cabin in northern Michigan, waiting out the virus in a small town. My brother-in-law and
He'll never find me.
Oh god. My brother and I were ice fishing this afternoon as the stores are becoming empty, and Mother Nature is very generous with fish in our lake, so they're going old school hunting for fish.
Just fish just like throwing themselves up onto the
God, just take me! Ram down here.
Oh, I'm so perfect.
Aren't I delicious?
I'd go great with some thyme and lemon.
Eat me! For those of you that don't know a lot about ice fishing, let me clarify something about a frozen lake. Right now, the ice is thick, with 2 C's, Howard. 8 to 10 inches thick. Dummy thick ice. Throughout the day, the sheets will crack from the sun. So
You mean clap?
Clap from the sun. Then refreeze overnight. The cracks make a demonic noise. You okay? Do you enjoy that one?
That was good. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Then refreezes overnight. The cracks make a demonic noise that scares the hell out of you when you're just sitting there in the silence. The cracks won't break all the ice underneath you unless you're trying to drive a bulldozer across the lake. So this is... You're right, Howard. This
You can
is some
basically just...
thick ice.
You can just hear that going like that. You can't even make the noise, but it's that like...
Yeah, it's
kind
sort
of
of like...
noise,
But
yeah.
imagine if one was very close to you. I imagine that would be quite terrifying. Because it would probably just sound like a gunshot. Let's be honest.
Awesome.
It's like ice just splitting. That must sound like...
Mother Nature is trying to kill me.
Help! So thick.
Tended to Crystal Walker. She's trying to kill me.
Oh, God.
Help.
Help!
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that one was close.
Why?
I'm just walking here. When you're sitting there inside... Oh, the blender.
Oh,
Oh, there
iceberg.
you With that said, I was FaceTiming my uncle to show off our buckets of fresh perch, sorry, not fish perch. I'm going to read that again. With that
Fresh
said,
perch.
fresh perch. Yeah, instead of fish perch.
I thought it was like slang for fish. Like, look at my fish purchase, dude. I just bought this, dude.
Oh, God.
Look at it, dude.
With that said, I was FaceTiming my uncle to show off our I am struggling. With that said, I was FaceTiming my uncle to show off our buckets of fresh perch, which is a fish, but that sounded really weird. My uncle doesn't know much about frozen lakes and is scared we'll fall in. ... You know what that means? Someone's gonna die!
Yay!
Well, while talking, I mentioned that we've been hearing cracks this afternoon. In the middle of our conversation, I turned my phone to my brother-in-law, and I guessed that the motion combined with my numb hands causing my phone to slip out. I reactively screamed as my new device slid out of the hole, slid into the hole.
They just cut to fishing.
Never to be seen again. Oh,
You'll
my
never see
God.
it. You'll never see that again. Goodbye.
I thought that was going somewhere less dramatic. Compared to that last one, this is well dramatic. I would be freaking out. So this guy has warrant to be freaking out.
We're on an ice sheet in the middle of nowhere, and I just lost my communication device.
Yeah. I feel like I just cannot say words, Howard. I went to say communication.
I've lost my communication.
I'm struggling, frankly. Where was I? My brother-in-law and I were trying to figure out ways to get it out, as we're only in about 10 feet of water. I need a drink. I need to drink things. Oh my God, I am so tired. Shall we try it another day? Oh, well, we can read these over Discord, actually.
That's very true.
Because I feel like I have to be more in person with you for the other ones. Yeah, I'm so fucking tired. We're just going to end it here. So, like, if you can take over for us, that would be great.
Thanks, future us.
Fuck you. In the middle of our conversation, I turned my phone to my brother-in-law, and I guess that was I guess that the motion combined with my numb hands caused my phone to slip out. I reactively screamed as my new device slid into the hole, never to be seen again.
That's what she said.
With your phone.
He said
Oh
device.
God, I need to fish it out.
He said device. He was
That's what I call my dick.
too obscure. It could have been anything in any way.
I mean, at least the fishing, you know what I mean? Because if you just had a hole in the ice and dropped your phone, you've sort of
That's that. What do you want to do now?
Kind of fish it out. You'd have to get like a case with a hook on it or something. You know, those carnival things that you can have where you just have the ducks going round in water and you have to sort of fish them out.
Yeah.
Like that, basically. Jumping into action, my brother-in-law and I were trying to figure out ways to get it out, as we were only in about 10 feet of water. About 2 minutes later, I hear yelling from the shore. My sister is frantically trying to figure out how to get out to our tent on the ice. Oh, nice. So they've got it set up on the ice. There's actually the game that I was streaming quite a while ago called The Long Dark that had these little huts on the water that would have like their own little ice hole for you to go fishing, and it gave me so much anxiety just standing in one, because I was like, this ice cannot withstand a house. Confused at this point.
The thing is, the ice, when you go ice fishing, it tends to be on a lake that tends to usually be permanently frozen, so they'll build like a little kind of shack. It's either permanently frozen or it's frozen for a lot of the year. And they'll build like these really lightweight shacks with no floor, basically, and then dig off.
Oh, well, he did mention that it was pretty thick boy ice.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be all right. Confused at this point, my brother-in-law and I remember that we were FaceTiming my uncle when I dropped my phone. He called my brother-in-law.
Oh, no, he's drowning. You idiot.
Get him out! He called my brother-in-law, but we were too preoccupied to answer. Oh, so the uncle called his brother-in-law. What? So they were there. So he ignored it.
Oh no, they're drowning.
He just gets his phone out and throws it in as well. Take that, you bastard. We later learned that the combination of telling him about the cracks, the scream, and my phone going underwater and disconnecting caused him to believe we fell in. I wonder why. We came out of the tent, outside. They just went in the tent and started chilling instead of like grabbing the phone.
Oh.
Actually, they may have got the phone already? I would hope so. We came out of the tent, consoled my sister, and called my uncle, who must have lost 5 years off of his life from the whole situation.
Excuse
I am
me?
now sitting here on my laptop, trying to figure out ways to get a new phone before my state locks us down. But first, I had to tell Reddit. So, yeah. So
Yes,
I'm
much more
assuming
important. Tell the internet.
Yeah, phone, Reddit, internet orange arrows.
Just with a little fucking Google Maps marker. Phone here for anyone who wants it.
Oh, that could be quite good. Oh my god, it's Forrest Fenn's new treasure hunt. All you have to do is dive in 10 meters of, or 10 feet of freezing water.
All you have to do is die.
Yeah, and then you win the phone, which is as dead as you will be, pretty much. So I think that will do it for that one, Howard. That is the end of that story.
Those
We
poor
shall
people.
move on. Those poor drowning phones. The people in the phones. The last one that I have for you today, Howard, our final story, is today I fucked up by self-isolating. As we all have been doing.
You have to, but you can't fuck up by self-isolating. It's perfect. Just look at me. I'm not completely insane.
I'm not completely insane. People in the wall. I've stabbed my hand through 7 people.
What?
You heard me.
You found 7 people?
I found my 8th.
Oh.
Die. So this was last night around 10 p.m. My wife and I have jointly decided to operate under self-imposed isolation due to coronavirus.
God, I thought you meant that we're going to operate on each other.
You go first.
We've decided to operate on each other instead of going to the
looks
hospital.
Really nice. I'll take that now. I didn't really clarify at first, but all these stories were gathered before, like, just right on the cusp of lockdown and like.
Can you imagine? There's probably not that many interesting lockdown stories unless you're in America.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, unless I suppose a lot has been happening. I mean, there was that Zendaya movie that got filmed in lockdown. They basically had all the cast and all the crew and like everyone staying in this remote place for 14 days, and they couldn't get takeout. They had chefs and everything, and like I don't know how they got the supplies. They probably bought them like 14 days worth with them.
I was going to say a couple of studios have actually done this, where they couldn't get into production straight away, obviously, because everyone had to isolate. Kevin Smith's currently got a YouTube show. He's been filming the last couple of, was it about a week or so? But basically everyone isolated at the Smith residence, and then basically they've got like not many people. It's a small crew. Obviously, this is on a film level. But yeah, there quite a few people have done that. And apparently, a few other films have done it. I think they tried to do it on the Batman film that they've been making.
I would love to see an isolation version of Batman.
I think
that would be beautiful.
I think they started reshooting or open shooting again, and then I think they had to isolate again.
I mean, it would make sense for those sort of films because normally the goons sort of come at you one at a time, so it would kind of make sense now. So it would be the other people would stand 2 meters away while the two fight, and then you go, it's my turn. He's been killed.
But yeah, I think you just have to just plan ahead and then basically make sure all of your support crew as well as your main crew are essentially isolated from the outside world, and then during the filming do the same, obviously. Let's be honest, most of the Hollywood productions, especially like if you're starring Zendaya or something like that, you've got enough money to hold people up for 2 weeks in a hotel or an isolated area. You have to if you want to, because an actress, I mean, she's only young and been in a few roles, but of her caliber, because she's a Disney person and all this other stuff, her insurance won't let her do anything. She's probably worth a lot of money. Yeah, basically they wouldn't be able to do anything unless it was literally like the strictest rules. Basically, like even if an actor is like, no, I'm okay doing my own stunt, I'm fine. Like even if they're like that, the insurance company can turn around and go, yeah, you're not doing that. You'll have a stunt double.
Like Tom Cruise. Do you know how much your face is worth?
Tom Cruise is one of the few people who basically turns around and goes, yeah, no, I'm going to do the stunt because I can afford to just buy this movie and kick you out.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Okay then, Mr. Cruise. Okay. Get on the side of the aeroplane.
You can risk your life. I did see somebody just sum up the whole Mission Impossible movies as just watch Tom Cruise basically try and kill himself for an hour and a half. And it pretty much sold me.
They're like... They are good movies, and to be fair, like I don't like Scientology is one of the worst things on the face of the planet, and I can't stand it. But I do like his films, and particularly like the role he played in Tropic Thunder, where he basically takes the piss out of himself, which you would never think you would see come from Tom Cruise.
A huge actor,
yeah. Yeah, he's not a bad actor. He's just an awful person. I don't know him. Everyone says he's the most wonderful person on the planet, even though, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the hanging off the plane was pretty cool. So everybody's home and nobody goes anywhere except to the park/playground down the street for sanity's sake, unless it's absolutely necessary. I'm in the bathroom doing the business. Oh, sorry. I'm in the bathroom doing the business. 16. So the 16-year-old in her room, fondling her portable communication device. I'm thankful I read that in a whole sentence.
Yeah.
Sure, that's how you describe it.
Yeah.
That's not creepy at all.
I'm just gonna go fondle this mouse.
I'm just gonna go fondle this food into my mouth. Everywhere again. I'm normal. That's you can tell they've been in isolation for so long. Wife and 13-year-old daughter in my bedroom talking. Boys 5 and 3 in the living room watching Toy Story 62 for the 93rd time.
I can't believe you called your kids 5 and 3. Evil
Very
parents.
Creative. They dropped the year-old part, you know. Fucking hell. So, I finish my business and head down to the living room. I want to imagine this is Trunks for the rest of the story now. So I finish my business and head down to the living room.
Goku,
the boys into bed. They didn't want to go, so I sliced them in half. Except only, and he doesn't. Obviously, he doesn't give them names. You should like give them at least semi-human names. But
5, get in here.
Goes,
3, 2, 1. Wait, what?
1. How many kids do I have? And he literally writes it. Except only 5 is there when he walks into the boys' bedroom.
Uh-oh.
So I ask 5 where 3 went. Oh. Okay. Oh, sorry. Well, that's not a good representation of a 5-year-old.
I don't know, mister.
Who are you? Okay.
Jesus, big mister.
I'll kill you. Okay. What he says. So it's written like this. I know what he's meaning to say, but it's written like this. He put, okay, he must be with his wife and 13. He means his own wife here, not his son's new mom wife.
Who's 13?
I stick my head in there. 13's the 13-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Who's with the wife. So we've got 5, 3, 16, and 13.
So he hasn't had 13 kids. Okay, great. Keep going.
No. He spaced them out, so he's had enough time to come up with new names. 5 and 3. So he sticks his head in there and asks her, I thought he was with you. Check the boys' room. Nope. Stick my head in the 16's room. Haven't you seen him? Check the closets and the bathroom and basement and kitchen. Nothing. Now I'm getting nervous, so I check all the locks. Front door is locked. Sliding glass door is locked. So that calms me. Until I realized that I had, by force of habit, locked the front door when I came to get the boys for bed. What? So he locked the front door when I came to get the boys for bed, and I couldn't remember whether it was already locked or not when I did. Oh, so he could have classic trick, unlocking the door when you think you've locked it. How does that happen? Surely you would just double lock it for double protect. What?
I double locked the door and broke it.
I added a new lock and it kind of didn't work, so I threw it away. I mean the door, not the lock, the door. The
house. I bought a new one.
I'm moving. I have a new family.
Goodbye.
I have a new family full of children called 2, 8, 17, 37. God, I'm unoriginal. So I ask 5 again, where did 3 go? Get another nonchalant but slightly annoyed, oh. So I pause the movie, try to conceal my panic as best I can, and ask him to think about which way he went. I think he went outside. Oh, sorry, I'm doing the kid's voice.
I think he went outside.
Dad.
I lost my marbles. To make a long story short, I ran out in socks, screaming 3's name. 3! 3! He
Hey,
just,
I
he's
just went to
4.
get some milk. And some
You wanna
cigarettes.
I've been smoking for 3 hours. So he's going around screaming 3's name from one end of the block to the other. Ran to the park screaming his name, scaring the crap out of my teenagers hanging... Oh, not of his teenagers, he hasn't got more. Scaring the crap out of the teenagers hanging out there. Park is a couple of acres at least. Baseball field, tennis court, trails, etc. I think trails are sort of like just like the running track, I assume.
Giant pits filled with snakes and lava.
And you put your child in the middle and just forget about it. Oh, 3, that's where you are. I asked them to be on the lookout for a 3-year-old boy in white Batman boxers. Warm day today in the mid-Atlantic US. So, we got you, dude. My wife did the same. So, we got you, dude, is the teenagers. This is written very...
Badly.
Yeah. My wife did the same, but screaming in the woods behind the house. I ran back home, grabbed my keys, wife calls the police, and I end up driving around my neighborhood, stopping on pretty much every block to scream 3's name, accosting joggers and teens out and about, running red lights.
You're not a
whole
3-year-old.
Hey, you're my new child. Get in,
Get in.
3. What do you mean? I said, get in. And he just goes and just runs over his actual child. I literally was not even in my own body to be able to control myself. So,
Well, that's
my
no
route
good.
takes... He's just watching himself going, what the fuck am I doing? He sat
I
at
appear to
home.
have climbed out of my body.
My anus is very tight. Help me get back in.
Help.
So my route takes me close to home again, and I decide to check my block again. My wife is out front crying and babbling into the phone, talking to emergency. I stop for a second and give her a big hug and run around back so I can search the woods behind the house. Now, in my head, I'm just imagining he's bear hugged her and is carrying her round the back with him, going, I'll need you.
I'll never put you down.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. But I'll lose my son and desert him.
Goodbye.
And now I'm deserting you as well. Oh, this is just his elaborate ploy to change the locks. It's worth mentioning that we live in a sparsely populated area, and there have been sightings of medium-sized predators, bobcats, coyotes, etc. over the
Sasquatch.
past few years. 3-year-old child. The kinds of animals who wouldn't normally attack adult humans, but might find a preschooler to be about the right size. So here I am thinking the worst, frantic to find my boy. So I'm searching through the woods in my socks for the next 5 minutes, and 16 has joined
Why
me.
did he take the rest of his clothes off?
Just his socks.
It's
I'm
more
rapidly losing
immersive.
my mind. I feel more approachable this way. Screaming a child's name just in my socks. And the police are coming.
Where are
This isn't going to
you?
look this isn't going to look suspicious at all. Using her phone flashlight to look around another section, so she joined in and is looking with her phone flashlight while this crazy mad naked man is running around going 3! Actually, no, that makes it even more insane that he's not screaming a person's name. He's just screaming 3. I don't see anything before reaching the impassable thicket. So I turn around.
No.
And-
You shouldn't call your wife that.
She has a name. It's 34. I turn around and bark at her to look in the neighbours' yards and then search every corner of the house. So he sent 16 off for a recon mission. I get back in my car and return to driving around like a madman, and then my phone rings. It's my wife. I'm too scared to answer and too scared not to. Fumble the phone into the crack of the seat. Almost hit a mailbox trying to retrieve it. Tell me you found him. We did. He was in the bed sleeping. And before I could even feel relief, I felt like the biggest idiot.
I crashed the car into a wall.
and died for my sins.
This is my story.
I've been embarrassed before, but I saw a few neighbours standing on their front lawns as I made my drive of shame back to my house. And I couldn't even bear to look them or tell them that we'd found him.
I love that no one even bothered to assume that a 5-year-old might be just wrong. And maybe go and check. Maybe that the 5-year-old just woke up from having a dream and was like, I'm sure he went outside.
I was pretty sure that was just a pile of pillows.
He went outside to fight the demons on the lawn.
I'm bipolar, by the way.
Oh, dear.
So 3, who has never, not once in his entire life, 1,400 days on planet Earth, gone to bed willingly, had gone to bed by himself and was sound asleep the whole time. And I looked right at him before I pulled the trigger. No, I looked right at him.
Oh, God.
Before I went on my wild romp through the neighborhood. Oh, my God. So he looked at him. He looked at him in bed. So, yeah, he probably just thought, oh, that's just a pile of pillows.
Yeah, his brain just went, child
idiot.
Gone!
Oh, that looks like the size of a child. It
child gone!
Brayden, take clothes off, just socks.
Run! Flashlight. Move it, thicket.
Just take me out back and shoot me.
Oh, what a
thicket,
idiot.
I mean Sarah. I mean 34. Agent 47. Just take me out back and shoot me, please. So anyway, we get back to the home. Wife and I hug it out. Teens and wife start chatting about the whole ordeal. I crumple into a ball on the couch to get myself together. And then there's a knock on the door. It's an officer responding to the call.
We found your kid.
Wait,
he was at someone else's house.
So, who is this? And then just like an alien comes out of his mouth. Oh, that's 4. This is 3, you idiot. My wife was on the phone with emergency when they found him, so the officer already knew, but he was obliged to knock and make sure. And there I was, just barely holding it together.
No, yeah, we lied.
He means his testicles is barely holding them together. Trying to tell him my son was home all along. Pardon me. I just burped. You can cut that out.
It's staying in.
Burp. Anyway, now I'm tending to the cuts and bruises on my feet that I didn't even feel when they happened, which is probably a good thing because it can be my excuse to hide the fact that I'm too embarrassed to walk out of my front door today because of the sheer fucking pain. And that's it, Howard. That's the last story. I hope that was an uplifting story for you.
That's what you get for being a parent.
That's what you get for having kids and trusting them.
Yes, never trust them. Check pull the sheet.
Actually, no,
there's
I
a
can't
kid
even
in
say
there.
that. He looked.
He looked, but he probably didn't acknowledge what he should have done. He's gone over to the bed and gone, yes, there is a child in there, and then,
shaking it vigorously and going, wake up!
Are you a child?
Are you choking? You idiot. So, that will do it for this episode.
Hey!
We sincerely hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please leave us a review on your podcasting app of choice. We would really appreciate it. Please share the podcast with friends and family, your grandma preferably. for no reason.
I'm sure she'll love it.
She will love us talking about missing children. You can follow us on Twitter at cluelessnet. You can email us at podcast@cluelessinter.net. I'll be streaming over on twitch.tv/cluelessinternet. I start about 6:30 p.m. Currently, I've been playing Rocket League, and I've been hosting. I've been sort of anybody that comes into the chat, I'm like, you join the 1v1 tournament.
You are the chosen one.
Usually we get kind of crushed. There is somebody in the stream called Metra who is currently 4-0 in the 1v1 championship of sorts. So if you'd like to participate, if you think you're good enough, please join me at 6:30 p.m. GMT. You can convert that to your own time code because it won't be the same if you're not
on PC. Don't forget that.
Oh well, you can join on any.
Did you figure out?
You can join on
if it gives you full playability.
Yes. You definitely can now. And also, it is going free to play. They did announce it's going free to play. It's sometime this summer, so then they're going to integrate the whole cross-platform even more, so you can swap items and stuff.
Shit,
and
I should get it on the PS4.
That means you can participate in the 1v1 tournament.
I shall have to join. I shall have to download the game and join. I do have it somewhere in my library.
Nice. And just before we go, just wanted to say we're currently transitioning from working from home to going back to work, so our upload schedule might be a bit fucked.
All over the tits.
I've got some all over the thicket. But I've got some ideas to sort of add some filler arcs or filler episodes in between us being able to record and stuff, so we'll figure it out. But with that all over, we want to say thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Next time. Bye.
Hate you.
I know.
Of things just fall into it, and I would never find them. It seems like an endless pit.
No, my glasses.
I'll see them again next week. Fuck. God, I'd also feel like I'm gonna hit people when I turn around if it was that big.
Yes, inadvertently.
Sorry, I hit you with my chainsaw beard.
I'd here to have slapped you silly.
I feel like you can keep hearing my lips smacking. I'm gonna put some
lip smack on.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some lip smack on. I'm gonna look so pretty, Neil.
Lovely.
You don't even know.
You won't even recognise me.
I call it ruby red. Mwah. Oh no, I'm pretty.
Who's a pretty Polly?
That's me. That's not what the bird says when he actually speaks English instead of Spanish. Oh, we're pretty Polly. Oh, I am Nigel.
Nigel, pretty Polly.
Nigel, pretty. Oh, pretty bitch.
Just call me Cynthia.
My feathers are lash.